Helen's family had already started grieving. She was forgetful, confused, slipping away, and the doctor had said the word they feared most, dementia. They braced themselves for the long goodbye, but one doctor wasn't satisfied. He ran a few more tests and found something no one had checked for. It was treatable. Within weeks, Helen was back, sharper, clearer, herself again. What everyone had called dementia never was. Here's the truth almost no family is told. Several conditions can look exactly like dementia. Same forgetfulness, same confusion, same personality changes, and some of them are completely reversible when they're caught. So today, I'm counting down 7 conditions mistaken for dementia that are actually treatable. Watch for number 3 especially. It's the one that fools even doctors, and it can be fixed in days. Let me be completely straight with you because this matters. Most dementia is not reversible. Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, Lewy body, those are real and they don't undo. This video is not a promise that a diagnosis is wrong. But here's the point. Before anyone accepts that diagnosis, these treatable lookalikes should be ruled out. And far too often, they aren't. Someone sees confusion in an older adult and assumes the worst, and no one checks for the simple, fixable things first. So think of this as the checklist to run before you give up hope. The questions to ask so that a reversible problem never gets mistaken for a permanent one. Let's count them down. It sounds too simple to be true, but it's one of the most common and most missed. Older adults often don't feel thirst the way they used to. They eat less, and they may cut back on fluids on purpose to avoid bathroom trips. The result can look exactly like dementia: confusion, disorientation, trouble focusing, even agitation. The brain needs water and fuel to work. Starve it of either, and thinking clouds over. The good news is how quickly it can turn around. Proper hydration and nutrition can lift the fog in days. If a loved one's confusion came on fairly recently, one of the first questions to ask is simply, are they drinking and eating enough? A small habit can go a long way here. A filled water bottle they can see on the counter, a gentle reminder to sip through the day. A shared meal instead of a skipped one. It costs nothing to try, and sometimes it's the whole answer. Your thyroid is the gland that sets your body's pace, and when it slows down, so does your brain. An underactive thyroid can cause forgetfulness, sluggish thinking, low mood, and fatigue that looks a great deal like early dementia. It's especially common in older adults, and especially easy to miss, because everyone just assumes they're slowing down with age. Look for the cluster that often comes with it: feeling cold all the time, weight creeping up, dry skin, thinning hair, and a bone-deep tiredness, sitting right alongside the mental fog. The reassuring part: this one is found with a simple blood test, and it's very treatable. Restoring the thyroid often restores the sharpness that came with it. A basic thyroid check belongs in every memory workup. This one is common, quiet, and genuinely reversible. Vitamin B12 is essential for healthy nerves and a healthy brain, and as we age, our bodies absorb less of it. Certain long-term medications and some diets can lower it further. When B12 drops too low, it can cause memory problems, confusion, and trouble concentrating, right alongside tingling or numbness in the hands and feet. Left alone, it can do lasting damage, but caught in time, it's often corrected with something as simple as B12 supplements or injections. It's especially worth checking in older adults, in people on long-term acid-reducing or diabetes medications, and in those who eat very little meat, all of which can quietly drain B12 over years. And like the thyroid, it's found with a basic blood test. There is no excuse not to check it. This one breaks families' hearts because it's so easy to get backwards. In older adults, serious depression can look almost identical to dementia. The same forgetfulness, the same withdrawal, the same slowed, flat, not there quality. Doctors even have a name for it: pseudodementia. The reason it gets missed is that we expect depression to look like sadness. In older people, it often looks like fading instead. Here's one clue that can help. Someone with depression is often painfully aware of their memory trouble and upset by it, while someone with early dementia frequently doesn't notice or downplays it. Depression is treatable, and when it lifts, the dementia can lift with it. And treating it gives back more than memory. It can restore someone's energy, their appetite, and their interest in the life around them. It's always worth ruling out. Here's the one that fools even doctors, and it's number 3 for a reason. In older adults, a urinary tract infection, a UTI, can cause sudden confusion, agitation, disorientation, even hallucinations, often without the burning or discomfort younger people get. The only sign might be that grandpa suddenly has dementia overnight. That speed is the giveaway. True dementia comes on slowly, over months and years. When confusion appears almost overnight, an infection is one of the first things to suspect. And the relief is remarkable. Treat the infection, and within days, the person often comes right back. A simple urine test can catch what looks like a terrifying cognitive collapse and turn it around. So if a loved one becomes confused seemingly overnight, don't panic and don't assume the worst. Ask for an infection to be ruled out first. As we get older, the medications pile up, and so do their effects on the brain. Certain classes of medication, especially sedatives, sleep aids, and drugs with strong anticholinergic effects, can cloud thinking, memory, and alertness, particularly in older adults. And when someone is taking many medications at once, they can interact in ways that quietly fog the mind. This gets mistaken for dementia constantly because no one connects the pill bottle to the confusion. But a careful medication review, done with a doctor or pharmacist, never on your own, can sometimes lift the fog by adjusting or simplifying what someone is taking. If cognitive changes appeared after a new prescription or a growing list of them, that timing is worth a very close look. Bring a complete, up-to-date list of everything they take to that review, including the over-the-counter sleep aids and allergy pills people forget to mention, because the culprit is often exactly the thing no one thought to write down. Never stop a medication on your own, but absolutely ask the question. And here's the one almost no family has ever heard of: the reversible condition that's mistaken for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's more than any other. It's called normal pressure hydrocephalus, or NPH, and it happens when fluid slowly builds up inside the brain. It has a telltale trio of signs: trouble walking, a slow, shuffling, feet stuck to the floor gait, along with thinking and memory changes, and loss of bladder control. Because those overlap so heavily with other dementias, it's constantly misdiagnosed. But here's the extraordinary part. NPH can often be treated by draining that excess fluid with a shunt, and some people improve dramatically. It's the closest thing there is to a reversible dementia, and it's found with brain imaging that a standard memory workup doesn't always include. If walking trouble and urinary changes are showing up right alongside the memory loss, ask about NPH by name, because it's exactly the kind of thing a busy workup can skip right past, and naming it can be the difference between a treatment and a long, wrong goodbye. So here's your action plan, and it comes down to one powerful sentence you can say to any doctor. Before we accept a dementia diagnosis, can we make sure we've ruled out the reversible causes? A thorough workup should include blood work, B12 and thyroid at a minimum, a full medication review, a check for depression, a test for infection if the confusion came on suddenly, and brain imaging that can catch something like NPH. None of this guarantees a reversible answer. Usually, sadly, it won't be. But you owe it to the person you love to be sure, because if it is one of these, you don't lose them at all. Most of the time, dementia is dementia. And I'd never want to sell you false hope. But sometimes, more often than families are ever told, what looks like a mind slipping away is really a treatable problem hiding in plain sight. And the only way to know is to ask and to check. In the description, I've gathered resources to help you take that first step. And if no one has told you today, the fact that you're fighting this hard to be sure for someone you love is its own quiet act of love. Tell me in the comments, had you ever heard of number 1 before today? If this helped, watch our video on the beginnings of dementia. the early signs to catch years before memory loss. And to understand how it all unfolds, watch our video on the 7 stages of dementia and the early window most families miss.